7 car going through shot there of Julian Griffiths. 16 in shot is Ashley Hicklin, then just ahead of the 58 of Anthony Ayres. They're doing battle over 5th and 6th position. Heading now up towards the start and finish line. Over the start and finish line they go. Charles Hall still leading, by the way. His lead has come down to less than 4 seconds now, so it's still Charles Hall, number 77, leading from 95. Joe Stables in 2nd place, Leon Morel 35 in 3rd, Ash Hicklin number 16 in 4th position, Anthony Ayres number 58 in 5th, and Richard Wells number 22 in 6th place.
Yeah, all fairly static inside the top 3. Hicklin and Ayres, though, are still not that far apart, as we're seeing on the screen, heading up through RLM Bend. And in fact, Anthony Ayres is right underneath the rear wing of the number 16 car now, so this is for 4th place overall. And what's even more impressive here is that Anthony Ayres is a Class B car, Ashley Hicklin in the Class A car. He's in a class podium place at the moment, but in theory should be quicker than the red car that is hounding him as they come back over hilltop. So a really good performance this from Anthony Ayres. He's 2nd in Class B. Leon Morel, 3rd place overall, is still the class leader, but he is around half a lap ahead of this pair. But a nice little battle here. I mean, racing drivers, they'll race whoever they find on the track, won't they, regardless of what class they're in. And at the moment it looks like Ayres might even be quicker.
Yeah, just looking at the clock, we've I think got less than 2 minutes of the race left to go. So just depending on when Charles Hall goes over the line as to how many more laps there will be left to go in this race. And it is the 35 car there of Leon Morel coming through shot there. Certainly, there is the 35 cars now over the line. So it's the Richard Wells car that I can see, also with Julian Griffiths right behind him. Beg your pardon, that's the fight for 6th and 7th then. And Julian Griffiths again on that last lap took 1.5 seconds out of Richard Wells. So really closing on him. It's a good little scrap, this one. Yeah, and I think he's going to drive straight through here. The PR6 up the inside as they come across the start-finish line. We cut away, but I can see out of the window he has made that move stick. I wonder whether Anthony Ayres is on wet tyres, perhaps, because the pace has significantly dropped away, and it doesn't seem to be down on power. It's just traction and turning ability into the high-speed corners. So I think maybe those wet tyres, if he is on wet tyres, are a little bit past their best right now. Yeah, I think you could be honest. I think they have a different tyre strategy. Certainly Charles Hall and Joe Stables actually has done a 1:36.95, so it's further reduced the lap record, but the cars outside the top couple of positions are well into the high 140s, aren't they now, Andy?
Change for 9th there on the screen. Andy Chittenden up the inside of Andrew Kimpton into Lodge Corner, so that was 48 ahead of 44 for 9th place overall. Again, a Class B car getting ahead of a Class A car there.
And there is the 2nd place car on the screen, and this is going to be now the final lap of the race. That's number 77 Charles Hall, our race leader, turning in. Apologies for audio issues that I know we're having at the moment. We're working very hard to resolve those. Hopefully you can still hear us, but it's slightly out of our control. In some sense, we will try and get that all sorted as soon as we can. There is Charles Hall doing a bit of lappery then as he heads around the hairpin up towards the Britton chicane once again. And he's 34 seconds clear of Joe Stables, so it's very much his race to lose now.
Yeah, but he's not backed off, has he? So Charles is still running down within a few hundredths of a second of his previous best lap, so both he and Joe Stables are still pushing on here as the track conditions continue to improve. And he brings the Spire down through the Hislock chicane now for the 12th and final time. Accelerates out of Knickerbrook again past the spectators on the spectator banking. Bit of traffic there for Joe Stables in 2nd place as he tries to further improve on the lap record. Interesting then that Joe has the quicker individual lap, but Charles Hall was just able to build that margin at the start, wasn't he? And that ultimately is what's going to win him the race.
Yeah, absolutely right, and I'm sure it would have been a bit of a different story had some of his front-running competitors been there, be they Josh Smith or Martin Brooks or Scott Mittell, who was ruled out yesterday. But nevertheless, it's going to be a first win of the season in the RLM Racing 750 Most Club Bikesports Championship for Charles Hall. The checkered flag goes out and he takes the win. Joe Stables in 2nd place, 4.27 seconds adrift in the end, so the gap stayed at around about 4 seconds, give or take, for the last few laps. Leon Morel will be the 3rd driver to come across the line, I think. In fact, he has yet to come through. Of course, there has been some lappery during the course of that race, so we've had some of the cars already through from further down, including the likes of Miles Drew, Robert Gilman, Andrew Gordon, and Charles. They've all been through, but we are still waiting for our 3rd place drivers. Such is the gap back to Leon Morel in third position. Didn't quite appreciate, I don't think, exactly how big that gap was until we've come to wait for him to come up and over the line, Andy.
Yeah, a long way back, weren't they? But as you said, they're Class B cars further back. So Liam Morel has now come through to take the checkered flag in third, and it should be actually Hicklin fourth. There he goes. He fended off Anthony Ayres to the line then. Anthony stays in fifth, but is second in Class B. And then Julian Griffiths was next. Now, Richard Wells, I don't think he was going to lose any more ground. He was some 36 seconds or so clear of Alistair Smart next in line. So it should be Griffiths 6th, Wells 7th, and Alistair Smart in 8th place. But Charles Hall with his first win of the year, that is, in his third podium. He'd had a couple of third place finishes earlier on in the season, but Charles taking advantage a bit of other people not being out there on track, but nonetheless he still drove a very good race there to take the overall and Class A race victory. And in the championship, Charles on 38 points was quite a long way behind the championship leader Michael Chen, who is not here. And we made the point at the start of the race that Chen, Martin Brooks, Scott Patel and Josh Smith, the top four in the championship, all non-scoring in that race. So Charles Hall's race victory will probably not quite give him the championship lead, but it will move him most definitely into the top three in the championship, and an awful lot closer now to the top of the points table. Just waiting for the last few to come through, although I think we might. There's a couple more cars coming through Lodge Corner now, but it is Charles Hall then with victory, Joe Stable second and Leon Morel third. We'll have a chance momentarily to hear from Anthony Jordan down in the pit lane, who is going to grab an interview, I believe, with our race winner Charles Hall, and maybe a couple of other podium finishers as well. And be interesting to find out what the conditions were like out there, and just how much of a decision it was that had to be made as far as tyre choice is concerned.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be able to catch up with Charles a little bit later on to find out exactly what conditions were like during the course of that race. So apologies for the audio issues once again that we're having. We will try and work hard to resolve these as best we can, but the cars at the moment coming into Parc Ferme at the end of the race. So we'll see if we can have a look at the results for that race, for the RLM Racing 750 Most Club Bikesports Championship. There we go. Charles Hall it was that took the race victory then from Joe Stables. Third place, the Class B winner, Leon Morel, ahead of Ashley Hicklin in fourth, Anthony Ayres fifth, and Julian Griffiths, who made up places as the race went on. He took sixth position. It's Richard Wells seventh from Alistair Smart. Andy Hitchington was ninth. Andrew Kimpton rounding out the top 10. Then Nick Carter, who made progress as the race went on. Ian Charles in 12th place.